There's a kind of woman whose absence is felt in a way that leaves people restless. She doesn't beg for attention, yet she's unforgettable. She isn't perfect, but she is deeply alive, a rare blend of mystery, self-possession, and soul. Carl Jung believed that the most magnetic people are those who have integrated both their light and their shadow. They are whole, and wholeness has a gravity you can't fake. The first secret is radical self-awareness. Jung said, "Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life and you will call it fate." Most people run from themselves. You face yourself. You've explored your wounds, your triggers, your deepest fears. You know what makes you come alive and what dims your spirit. When you know yourself at this level, you become unshakable, and people fear losing someone they can't easily replace. The second secret is emotional sovereignty. You are not emotionally hostage to anyone. Love is beautiful to you, but it is not oxygen. You can breathe without it. Jung believed that true love is the meeting of two whole individuals, not the fusion of two half-broken souls. Your peace doesn't depend on someone else's moods, validation, or presence. That quiet independence makes people cling tighter because they realize they don't own you. They are simply blessed to stand beside you. The third secret is owning your shadow. Jung taught that the shadow, the parts of ourselves we hide or deny, holds our greatest potential for power. You've stopped pretending to be only good or only kind. You know you have boundaries, fire, even darkness, and you are not afraid to use them when needed. People respect you because you are not naive. You see the truth even when it's ugly, and that makes you impossible to manipulate. The fourth secret is purpose over approval. Your life has a mission that is bigger than being liked. You are led by your inner compass, not the crowd. Jung once said, "The privilege of a lifetime is to become who you truly are." You chase that becoming every day, and when someone realizes your attention is a gift, because you could be anywhere, doing anything, they hold on tighter. The fifth secret is presence without attachment. When you are with someone, you are fully there, eyes, mind, heart. But you can also walk away without hatred if the connection turns toxic. You understand that nothing in life is permanent, so you love deeply without clinging. That paradox, loving fully but never desperately, keeps people in awe of you. The sixth secret is magnetic authenticity. Jung believed the greatest influence comes from being real. You don't perform a role to be wanted. You live in alignment with your truth, even if it costs you relationships. People are drawn to you because with you, there are no masks. And once they've tasted that level of truth, they fear going back to the shallow performances of the world. The seventh secret is protecting your inner world. You guard your energy the way a queen guards her throne. Not everyone gets access to your mind, your heart, or your body. Jung said that solitude is not the absence of relationship, but the presence of self. You nourish that inner sanctuary, so when someone is close to you, they feel like they've entered a rare and sacred space. The woman everyone fears losing is not the loudest in the room, nor the one trying hardest to be loved. She is the one who has mastered herself, her mind, her emotions, her shadow, and her soul. She knows that people come and go, but the relationship with herself is eternal, and in that self-possession lies the quiet, unshakable power that makes her unforgettable. There is a type of woman whose absence feels like an emptiness you can't name. She doesn't demand attention, yet when she walks into a room, the atmosphere shifts. She doesn't try to be unforgettable, but she is. And if she leaves your life, you realize too late that you've lost something rare, something you will search for in every face, but never truly find again. This kind of woman doesn't stumble into her power by accident. She has built herself from the inside out. Carl Jung believed that the most magnetic people are those who have met both their light and their shadow. Those who have walked through the darkest corridors of their own soul and emerged whole. That wholeness has a gravity you cannot fake. It is why some women are cherished while others are taken for granted. Becoming the woman everyone fears losing doesn't come from playing games, pretending indifference, or wearing a mask of perfection. It comes from knowing yourself so deeply that you no longer bend just to be accepted. Most people never do the work to meet themselves fully. They distract, they hide, they run from their truth. But the woman who cannot be forgotten has stopped running. She has sat with her own darkness. She has faced her fears, her insecurities, her pain, not to be flawless but to be real. Jung said, "Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life and you will call it fate." This woman has made the unconscious conscious. She has explored her patterns, the old wounds that try to run her life, and she has taken back the steering wheel. People sense this even if they can't explain it. It's why they know she cannot be easily replaced. She has emotional sovereignty. That means she is not emotionally hostage to anyone. She loves deeply, but she does not lose herself in the process. She can give, but she can also walk away when her peace is threatened. She does not use love as a bargaining chip, and she does not treat it as oxygen, something she cannot live without. She knows she can survive without anyone, and that knowledge makes her love even more powerful because it comes from choice, not desperation. Jung believed that love is the meeting of two whole individuals, not the merging of two half-broken ones trying to fill each other's emptiness. When people feel your love but know they do not own you, they respect you differently. They value you more because your presence is a privilege, not an obligation. This woman has met her shadow and made peace with it. Most people only want to see themselves as good or kind, but that makes them fragile. Jung taught that the shadow, the part of ourselves we hide or deny, holds some of our greatest power. When you reject your shadow, you become easy to deceive and control. But when you embrace it, you become grounded and unshakable. This woman knows she has boundaries, fire, even anger when necessary, and she's not afraid to use them. She knows that kindness without boundaries is self-destruction. She can say no without guilt, walk away without fear, and confront dishonesty without hesitation. People respect her because she is not naive. She sees the truth clearly, even when it's uncomfortable, and that clarity makes her immune to manipulation. Her life is driven by purpose, not approval. She is not here to please everyone, and she accepts that some people will misunderstand her. She lives by her inner compass, not by the applause of the crowd. Jung said, "The privilege of a lifetime is to become who you truly are." That is her mission every single day. She pursues her calling, her passions, and her growth without waiting for permission. She knows that when she focuses on becoming her fullest self, the right people will find her, and the wrong people will quietly fade away. And because her life is so full and alive, those who are close to her feel the difference. They know she doesn't need to be there. She chooses to be there, and that choice is what makes people hold her tighter. She is fully present, but never attached in a suffocating way. When she's with you, she is there. Her eyes see you. Her mind hears you. Her heart feels you. But if you cross the line, if the connection becomes toxic, she will walk away without poisoning herself with bitterness. She understands that nothing in life is truly permanent, and that clinging only destroys what is meant to flow freely. This ability to love deeply but release when needed creates a paradox. People feel safe with her yet also aware that they cannot take her for granted. That awareness makes them value her even more. She has magnetic authenticity. Jung believed that influence doesn't come from charm alone. It comes from being real. She does not contort herself into a shape that will please others. She does not pretend to be someone she's not. Her yes means yes, her no means no. People feel at ease around her because they never have to wonder who she truly is. She is the same person in private and in public. Once someone experiences this level of authenticity, the shallow games of the world lose their flavor. They will crave that truth again, and they will fear losing it. She guards her inner world like a sacred space. Not everyone gets access to her mind, her heart, or her body. She understands that her peace, her joy, her dreams, and her thoughts are treasures. Jung said that solitude is not the absence of relationships, but the presence of self. She is comfortable in her own company, and she invests in her own spirit. So when someone is allowed close to her, they feel it, that they are in a rare and precious place. This is not someone you replace. This is not someone you forget. Becoming this woman is not about making others fear losing you through manipulation or control. It is about becoming so aligned with who you are, so whole, so aware, so at peace, that your absence leaves a gap no one else can fill. It is about being someone whose worth is not measured by how others treat her, but by the quiet knowing in her own soul that she is already enough. Jung knew that people are drawn to wholeness like plants are drawn to sunlight. When you become whole, you don't have to chase, you attract. And what you attract fears losing you, not because of what you do for them, but because of who you are. The truth is, anyone can try to copy your style, your look, your words, but no one can copy your energy. No one can duplicate the way you make them feel when they are in your presence. That is the power of a woman who has met herself, loved herself, and chosen herself over and over again. That is the power of a woman who knows that the relationship she has with herself is eternal, while everyone else is temporary. And that is why she is the woman everyone fears losing. There is a certain kind of woman you meet only once, and if you are careless enough to lose her, you will spend the rest of your life looking for pieces of her in everyone else. You may find women who are beautiful, charming, intelligent, but there will always be something missing, something invisible, something you can't quite name. That's because this woman's presence is not just in her smile, her words, or her body. It's in the way she moves through life, the way she carries herself in a world that constantly tries to make people doubt their worth. Carl Jung said something powerful. The most terrifying thing is to accept oneself completely. And that is what she has done. She has accepted herself, all of herself. Not just the polished parts, but also the messy, complicated, imperfect pieces. She has met her own shadow and made peace with it. And because she has done that work, she is whole. Wholeness is magnetic. Wholeness has gravity. People can feel it without knowing why. Most people avoid their inner work. They wear masks. They hide the pain, bury their fears, and distract themselves with noise. But she has sat in silence with herself. She has looked in the mirror without turning away. She has asked hard questions, faced uncomfortable truths, and chosen growth over comfort. She knows her triggers, her desires, her values. She knows what she will accept and what she will never allow again. That self-awareness is rare, and it makes her impossible to replace. She has emotional independence. She is not desperate to be loved, because she already loves herself. She can enjoy a relationship deeply, but she does not cling to it like it is the air she breathes. She knows she will be okay with or without it. Jung believed that real love is not about dependency. It's about two whole individuals choosing to walk together. She is that whole individual. This makes people feel safe, yet challenged, because they know they cannot control her with fear of abandonment. She will not stay where she is not valued, and that makes her love more precious, because it's freely given, not earned through manipulation. She understands her own shadow, those parts of her that could be jealous, angry, or selfish. She doesn't pretend those parts don't exist. She owns them, and because she owns them, they cannot control her. Jung said that the shadow, once integrated, becomes a source of strength. She can stand up for herself. She can set boundaries without guilt. She can walk away from what is wrong, even if it breaks her heart. She can speak the truth, even when her voice shakes. This is why people respect her. Not because she is always sweet, but because she is always real. She does not live for applause. Her life is guided by a deeper purpose. She knows who she is and what she's here to do. She doesn't waste her days trying to please people who will never be pleased. She understands that no matter what she does, someone will always misunderstand her. So she chooses authenticity over approval. Jung called this individuation, the process of becoming your true self, separate from the expectations of others. This is the path she walks every day, and those who know her sense it. They feel her strength, her independence, her direction. They know she is not with them because she has nothing better to do. She is with them because she wants to be, and that choice is powerful. When she is with you, she is present. Her eyes see you, her mind listens to you, her heart feels you. But she also knows that life is change, and not everything lasts forever. So she loves without chains. If the connection becomes toxic, she will not hold on out of fear. She will let go with grace. This is the paradox of her presence. She makes you feel deeply loved, yet you know she can leave at any time if respect disappears. That awareness makes you value her more. She is authentic to her core. In a world of performance and pretending, she is a rare truth. She doesn't play a role to get affection. She doesn't hide her flaws to seem perfect. She doesn't change her opinions to fit in. She is the same whether the lights are on or off, whether the world is watching or not. Jung said that the privilege of a lifetime is to become who you truly are. She lives that privilege. And when someone experiences her honesty, they cannot go back to the shallow, scripted interactions of the world. They will always crave the realness she carries. She guards her inner world. She does not let just anyone have access to her thoughts, her dreams, her vulnerabilities. Not everyone deserves a seat at her table. She has learned that some people only come to take, not to give. Some come to break, not to build. So she is selective, and because she is selective, her energy remains pure. Those who are allowed close to her know they are standing in a rare and sacred place. They know that trust is not given lightly, and that losing it means losing something they may never find again. She has learned to be comfortable alone. She enjoys her own company. She knows that solitude is not loneliness. It's strength. Jung believed that only when you can be alone can you truly be yourself with others. She has reached that place. She does not need constant noise, constant attention, or constant reassurance. She finds peace in silence, joy in her own thoughts, and strength in her own reflection. This makes her even more magnetic, because she is not chasing. She is simply being, and being is powerful. People fear losing her because she is not replaceable. You can find someone who looks like her, someone who talks like her, even someone who shares her interests. But you cannot copy her soul. You cannot duplicate the way she makes people feel when they are around her. That feeling comes from years of self-work, from scars that have been turned into wisdom, from boundaries that protect her peace, from love that is given freely but never cheaply. She has mastered the balance of softness and strength. She can be nurturing without being a doormat. She can be kind without letting herself be used. She can be loving without losing her independence. She can be vulnerable without being weak. She can be forgiving without tolerating repeated disrespect. This balance is rare, and it's what makes her unforgettable. She is the woman who, if you lose her, will leave a shadow on your soul, not because she was perfect, but because she was real in a way the world rarely is. She did not try to fit into a mold. She did not give her love to anyone who hadn't earned it. She did not hide her truth to keep the peace. She lived fully as herself, and that is the kind of presence that lingers long after it's gone. And here is the truth Jung understood. People are drawn to those who have become whole. Wholeness is rare. Wholeness is healing. Wholeness feels like home. When you become whole, you no longer beg to be loved. You no longer chase to be chosen. You know your value, and you stand in it quietly. And in that quiet strength lies the power that makes people fear losing you. I want you to picture something. There's a man who once had a woman like this in his life. He didn't realize it at first, because when something rare is always in front of you, it can start to feel ordinary. She was there when he needed someone to listen. She was there when life felt heavy. She was there to celebrate his wins, even the small ones no one else cared about. She believed in him when he doubted himself. She was the one who could look him in the eyes and see the truth behind his words, the fear behind his confidence, the sadness behind his smile. At first, he thought she would always be there. Why wouldn't she? She loved him. She gave him her time, her heart, her laughter, her trust. He thought her patience was endless. He thought her forgiveness was infinite. But what he didn't understand was that her love was a choice, not a chain. She wasn't there because she couldn't leave. She was there because she wanted to be. Slowly, he started to take that for granted. He stopped listening as closely. He stopped noticing the effort she put into the small things. The way she remembered his favorite coffee. The way she sent him a message when she knew he had a stressful day. The way she made space for him in her busy life. He assumed she would keep showing up, no matter how little he gave back. But one day, she didn't. It wasn't dramatic. There was no screaming, no chaos. She simply became quieter. She stopped explaining herself. She stopped repeating her needs. She stopped making the first move to repair what he kept breaking. And then one day, she was gone. He told himself she'd come back. She always had before. But this time was different. This time she didn't return. And at first, he was angry. He told himself she was cold, selfish, heartless. But anger has a way of turning into something else when you're alone at 2 a.m. staring at the ceiling. That anger softened into realization. And that realization hurt more than anything else. Because he saw the truth. She wasn't cold. She wasn't selfish. She was done. She was the kind of woman who knew her value, even if he had forgotten it. She was the kind of woman who could love deeply, but still walk away when respect was gone. She was the kind of woman who didn't need to be needed. And that's exactly why she was so easy to love and so hard to lose. He replayed the moments he thought didn't matter. The way her eyes lit up when she laughed. The way she instinctively reached for his hand in a crowd. The way she listened like every word he said was worth hearing. And now, he noticed the silence. No one else laughed quite like her. No one else listened like her. No one else made him feel that combination of safety and challenge, comfort and growth. He tried to fill the space she left with other faces, other voices, other bodies. But it never worked. Because you can replace company, but you can't replace connection. And with her, it wasn't just love, it was something deeper. It was the rare, irreplaceable feeling of being truly seen, truly understood, and truly accepted, flaws and all. Carl Jung once said, "The meeting of two personalities is like the contact of two chemical substances. If there is any reaction, both are transformed." She had transformed him, even if he didn't know it at the time. And without her, he realized that he wasn't just missing her. He was missing the version of himself he became when she was in his life. This is why people fear losing a woman like this. It's not just about her beauty or her kindness or her intelligence. It's about the way she changes the atmosphere around her. It's about the way she makes you feel like a better, more alive version of yourself. And once you've experienced that, going back to the ordinary feels unbearable. So if you are listening to this and you are that woman, do not shrink. Do not dilute yourself so that people will stay. Do not lower your standards just to keep someone who cannot meet them. You are not here to be half loved or half seen. You are not here to be a background character in someone else's story. You are the story, and anyone who cannot see that is not meant to hold you. And if you are listening to this, and you have someone like this in your life, pay attention. Value her now, not when she's gone. Don't make the mistake of thinking her patience is weakness or that her forgiveness is endless. Love her in action, not just in words. Because once she leaves, she will not look back, and you will spend years trying to find even a fraction of what you once had. But you will never find it again. Carl Jung taught that wholeness is the goal of life. This woman has reached for it. She has faced herself, healed herself, and built herself into someone who does not just survive but thrives. Losing her is not just losing a person. It is losing a rare presence that the world does not give easily. And that is why she is the woman everyone fears losing.